Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to be analysing the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities may be available today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Right, starting off on the daily, as usual EU is on the top, DXY is on the bottom. So what's the daily showing us? Well, yesterday we closed out as a bullish day, bullish candle, right, which was the buyers for yesterday, which is good. We had a bullish closeout. And obviously the inverse on DXY was bearish somewhat, coming from those areas where we had taken buy side liquidity and some sell side liquidity. So now the question is, do we continue bullish or have we retraced enough to continue bearish, right? Previous daily highs and previous daily lows has been swept for buy side and sell side liquidity. So I suppose initially you can say we've already got buy side liquidity, which, may lead to further bearish price. But you can see we've had some bearish movement and we've pulled back somewhat this morning already. So we'll see more on the lower time frame. So I don't think the daily shows loads, but we have taken buy side liquidity already on EU and sell side liquidity already on DXY. So let's go down to the 4 hour to see what that shows us. So here we're on the 4 hour, bearish leg here. We've pulled back from this sell side liquidity rather correctively, you could say, looking at the size of these candles compared to these bearish momentum candles which are with trend, right? So we've pulled back correctively to a 4 hour POI. This is just about an order block, a bullish candle here where we swept liquidity to the left internally and broke down. So we've pulled back to there. So far that is showing signs of resistance. Now in this 4 hour leg we are still just about in the discount. We're sort of near the equilibrium and we have an imbalance above, which may still draw price further into a premium, of course. But for now, we're seeing some resistance here. Okay, we've taken that previous daily high buy side liquidity sort of yesterday afternoon, evening. So it wasn't fresh buy side liquidity taken today, which would have been nice for some sort of short bias. So we had that previous 4 hours through Asia closed out bearish, and now price seems to be pulling back. We have closed an imbalance here, so we're having some sort of bullish reaction from there, and price may be seeking out further buy side liquidity, which we may see a bit more clear on the lower time frame. So just to summarize there on EU, we're still within a discount. We are at a high time frame resistance POI, which is currently holding. We do have further POI above, which may still attract price. On DXY, we have the same as a support POI here, which has been rejected so far, and we have mitigated somewhat that imbalance which seems to be causing that bearish pullback to that area. So we have further imbalances, of course, that we can fill and pull back to more of a discount of the DXY bullish leg as well. So we'll see how that goes. We'll go down to the 1 hour now and see what that's showing us. So on the 1 hour, as I pointed out yesterday, we have this sort of 1 hour internal bearish leg here where we swept that liquidity to the left, broke down, creating a lower low below these lows here. Now it is just the internal leg. We are still in the discount of that 4 hour leg, but as I mentioned, this may become some resistance, these 1 hour order block POIs, which so far, as I said, have held. Now price has obviously made some internal higher highs within this leg to pull back to this premium. So we're kind of in a premium of that 1 hour leg. Of course, the same applies with the imbalances above, which may draw price. So not saying we're definitely gonna, turn bearish from here, but it's some resistance and may provide a POI for going short, or we may have to just be more patient to wait for the order flow to break through that. It is a negative for going long up into this premium. DXY has the same POI, of course, within this 4 hour order block as well, which price also rejected. So now looking into today's price action, you can see I've drawn out that order block there. You could say this is maybe like an internal break of structure where we pulled up, took that buy side liquidity and broke down. So I've just drawn that out to see if this provides any resistance, to see if we get a further breakdown from there, which would give itself more of a bias to continue short, right? We've pulled back to a premium of that internal 1 hour leg, high time frame POI rejected, right? Then we've pulled back to an imbalance on 1 hour POI. If we reject that again and make a lower low, it pretty much just confirms this resistance for me. We have the same POI here on DXY as well, which I haven't drawn out, but it's fine. We have the imbalance there. Price may pull back into this, and then we see some higher prices. So I hope that's clear. So we can see it's possibly providing some support here now. Price seems to be slowing down. However, it's still early days. The London Open wasn't that long ago, but I think that's a good mentality to have at this point. We have all this resistance here. I'm waiting for more order flow, just drawing out possible resistances to see if price was to continue to break down or not. So if I was to summarize the 1 hour, it's similar to the 4 hour. We are at a point of resistance. You could say that that would favor a bearish bias because we do have these resistances with buy side liquidity taken recently. But of course, we have our negatives of further mitigations needed above with these imbalances, and we're only in a discount of the 4 hour leg. It's definitely worth a little patience. This was all very corrective, which is great for shorts. And we have a fresh POI that was created today that may provide some resistance. So the bias for shorts, I'd say, is just a little bit more favored due to all of this resistance in this area and the matching confluences, of course, as well on DXY. But it's nothing to rush into because of obviously that 4 hour leg and all of these imbalances. Price may seek out more of a premium and more of a discount. So I think that's enough on the hourly. Let's go down to the 15-minute and see what that shows us for today. So here on the M15, we see that price action a little bit better. We can see how corrective yesterday was. It wasn't a great price action day. There was a possible trade that would have worked out, but it was quite late in the session for me, so I didn't take it. I didn't like the price action of yesterday. It wasn't very, it didn't move very well, even though it provided a small opportunity. Now into today, we are getting some bearish movement from here. Obviously, we've taken up buy side liquidity, previous daily high, broke down, and now we've sort of pulled back again quite correctively to the 1 hour POI that was left behind. We have a small 15-minute order block just above price here, which may hold price may not make it to it, but I drew it out just to see if that holds as a resistance point, to see if this Asia high holds. Now, right now where we are in price action, I don't see any like immediate trades. So again, it's going to be me waiting for further order flow and price action, as I mentioned. Now we're slightly favoring a bearish outlook, just due to the resistance points and POIs and buy side liquidity recently taken. So I'll start off with, a short bias outlook. So probably a couple scenarios that I could see. Let me draw out one that might be the most immediate. Create some sort of low here into this area and then pull back above these highs for some buy side liquidity and inducement into this M15 order block here and then break down. Now that could be something that happens just from this area, and then we can pull back because, as I said, I'll be waiting for more order flow. So the order flow could come in here, take the buy side liquidity, break down. This area could hold, Asia highs holding, right? And then we break down internally and then pull back, possibly corrective, to a lower time frame order block imbalance to continue going short from. Now that would look something like this, with the order block imbalance around here, break of structure around this area here, possible inducement around here, with our order there, stop loss just above the highs, to go short to the other side of Asia and continue with our trend. Now that's a scenario that could happen. For all we know, right, we could take the Asia highs and go with the cycle, break down somewhat there, do something similar like that. That's all possible. These are all different scenarios of the same thing. I'm not going to draw them all out, but that's definitely something we could see happen, just as long as some buy side liquidity internally is taken to sponsor the move. We could see something like this, right? Price could break down from here, break of structure around there, pull back to a lower time frame order block POI, which it may be creating now for us to continue lower. Right, so all of that's the same. Break of structure below here, possible inducement around one of these areas here from the pullback, lower time frame order block of imbalance here with stop loss just above that high to continue lower. So it could look something like this in the end. We don't know if we get that momentum from this area and break down. So I think all those scenarios I mentioned there are possible to go with that maybe favored bearish bias. Again, we have more to attract price above. So I'm not going to concentrate on longs too much because the price action would need to completely change bullish, but maybe if we do something similar like that, like we said before, and we do break above price, you know, we may get something to go into. This would be, however, very negative with the buy side liquidity above here taken. So you may want to wait for further price action, right? You may want to wait for a double like break of structure to show that it means business, right? So you may want to get in around there or something, wait for price action and order flow to look very bullish, because that's what I would do. I wouldn't be rushing into any bullish longs at the moment, because we'd be taking buy side liquidity when we break these highs, and depending on how it closes out, it may look very negative for the lower time frame entry. I think this is good as a sell side liquidity trend line. We're at a good point of resistance and price may be rejecting this area at the moment. So I hope that's clear. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.